Hi, this is Bob from Bob Johnson's Computer Stuff. And if you're looking for an online Toughbook community that gives tips, tricks, and support, hit that subscribe and bell button to be notified of our newest videos. Hey, welcome back this week. Today I have a special guest. I have TJ, who is our head Toughbook repair technician, and if you recall, TJ is the gentleman that did the Linux loads on the CF31 and answering all your questions on, I think we had a sound version of, fixing the sound on the CF31 with Linux and the screen fix and everything else. I know you guys have watched that video, all those videos that we did on the Linux. They were very popular. Well, I got TJ here today, and hey, welcome TJ.
Hello.
He's going to just answer a few, give us a little insight on some of the things that you guys had put in the comments. In addition, we're going to talk about Windows 11 a little bit and what our future plans are for videos to get Windows 11 on Toughbooks. So TJ, tell me a little bit. One of the biggest things that people commented on the Linux videos was, hey, this isn't working for me. How do I make it work? And what do you think is their biggest issue? What do you think was the biggest problem?
Well, I think a lot of the problems were people were trying it on units that weren't the CF31. I mean, a lot of the steps work on other computers. Like the touchscreen would work on multiple computers that weren't the 31. I mean, steps are reproducible, but not every step will work on every computer. The 31 is that tutorial is made for the 31 specifically.
So what you're saying is, if they have a Dell or an HP or a different type of model they're trying to load on, our steps for the CF31 most likely would be slightly different for something for a Dell. They may need different kinds of drivers or things of that nature for the Linux.
Even a Toughbook like the CF19, very similar to the 31 in just will not work quite like the CF31 will, with all those commands and scripts that it needs to run the CF31.
So here's a question for you, TJ. Any future plans on putting Linux on the CF19 for the group?
Well, we'd love to start working on making a Linux video for the CF19.
Mm-hmm. So we can kind of look forward to that in the future.
Yeah. The CF53 is in our Outlook too. Okay. And maybe the FCG one, maybe.
Okay.
We have plans for other ones. We just haven't gotten a chance to do it yet. But they're definitely in our sites. Okay, good.
So let's talk a little bit about Windows 11. Windows 11, just came out last month for insiders, Microsoft insiders. I know we've tried to load it on some units. Tell us a little bit about what we know about Windows 11 and what we know it works on.
Well, we know it's going to work on a lot of the newer computers. The newer computers definitely have a better. We definitely have a better picture of what it's going to work on, but some of the Toughbooks are going to have a little bit harder time for it to work on. But we think that it's not a definite that's not going to work on them. We might be able to get it to work on them. Now. Windows 11 requires a higher resolution of picture. It requires higher security features like the TPM 2.0. Now the Toughbooks come with a lower resolution screens just because they don't need that higher resolution screen, and that's not a requirement for a lot of people who work with them. And the TPM, they've just started upgrading them to 2.0 TPM recently with the CF33s and the CF20s.
Okay.
Now, the CF31s and the 19s, there's update patches for them to the 2.0.
But we haven't tried those yet.
No, haven't had a chance to try the patch on them, so we're not 100% sure if they work.
Okay.
Now, there's something we want to try. It just
Getting the time to do it.
yeah, really.
So that's on in our sites too. Just so you guys know, we're working on videos to get Windows 11 loaded on at least the CF33s and the CF20s to see how they work and if there's any special issues that we run into, as well as we're going to start working on the CF31s and see if we can't get Windows 11 to work on those as well, using the patches to the TPM 2.0 and that sort of thing. But TJ, thanks for coming in tonight and sitting in on this video. Guys, I want to appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week.